Among the many news that adorn the front pages of newspapers, this one has caught my eye, and it's a very important one. This is based on the IMF assessment of where Pakistan stands with regard to its commitments to the IMF, and the headline tells you all. While the report is IMF's assessment, it is the Financial Action Task Force blacklisting fear and apprehension, a Damocles sword that seems to have gotten the centerpiece as far as the headline is concerned. So this centerpiece is important because if FATF blacklisting is to hit Pakistan, much of the economic planning, which is already precarious and not really yielding results, is going to be hit for another long and big six. The IMF report does not rule out the possibility of Pakistan being blacklisted under FATF, does point to the dangers inherent in the situation, and does insist that Pakistan has to abide by some immediate commitments, including targeted financial sanctions and controlling the flow of finances that allegedly or reportedly finance terrorism. So clearly the IMF is sold on the idea that the Financial Action Task Force assessment of where we stand with regards to the meeting of the targets is there, and the IMF does believe that the FATF assessments do have a lot of merit in them. The IMF does not hold out an argument in favor of Pakistan, does not suggest that what Pakistan has done with regard to FATF commitments is worthy of praise. It only, in a very matter-of-factly way, lists what Pakistan needs to be done before June 2020, though the immediate targets under FATF need to be met around March. The IMF report, it is strongly recommended for everyone to read, also makes rather sorry reading as far as Pakistan's people's condition is concerned. It's almost heartless to suggest that the juggling of the figures is going to somehow address the chronic problems that are faced by the people of Pakistan. It does talk about yawning gaps that the government needs to fill by essentially cutting down on development expenditure. It does talk about its requirement that government has to now meet in terms of raising revenue, which essentially comes from raising the prices of utilities. We already have phenomenal increase in the prices of gas. We've had phenomenal increase in the prices of electricity, and it has hit the poorer, the lower middle class and the middle class sections of the society the hardest. People's incomes have been wiped out. Disposable incomes are non-existent because everything that they saved or are capable of saving is going into paying the bills. But the IMF doesn't bother about that. The IMF is only concerned about the commitments that government of Pakistan gave to it. The IMF does not also tell you about great economic prospect. It talks about the next financial year economic growth target to be something around this year's is 2.4, next year about 3, and mid-term to long-term, which we do not understand what does it mean in terms of years, is about 4 to 5. We all know enough economics now to argue among ourselves that unless and until a country crosses the 6 digit and nears the 7 digit, it will not be able to create more employment. IMF report also is heartless when it comes to assessing the rate of unemployment in Pakistan, and suggests ironically that anecdotal evidence suggests that unemployment is on the rise, but does pretend, the report that is, and suggests that perhaps much of the employment is underreported. We know that country is in the grip of severe unemployment crisis. People are losing jobs left, right and center. This is all documented, but IMF report tends to brush these issues aside. The IMF report ironically also does not mention the figures related to poverty. I mean, the whole idea for the economy to grow and poverty to be alleviated, and instead, according to the news reports, rely on 4-year-old UNDP figures of poverty. So all in all, this is a major issue. If the country's economy continues to either get into recess or does not grow, and people's lives are shattered by unbelievably harsh conditionalities attached to the IMF arrangement with the government of Pakistan, clearly this country's crisis is not going to end. But who cares? because the IMF has given you loan, they've got certain conditionalities, they've got a team of their own choosing in place, and really who cares about the people of Pakistan? Their suffering is never part of any report and assessment, not even a matter of debate as far as this government is concerned, which continues to pretend that economy's trajectory is fine, though the statistics at the turn of 2019, end of 2019, at the beginning of 2020, tell you a very sorry state of people's lives. They are shattered, they were devastated, and frankly, economy has become the biggest burden as far as their lives are concerned.